That's a big old bluegill there. Woo, son. Oh, yeah. That's a pound. That's a big old pound bluegill. Oh, look what I got. I got a bass. It's amazing how these bass are hitting those superworms.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that the bass would have ever bothered to bite a superworm.
He's qualified for BASS Classic 25 times, and Roland Martin is the current record holder with 19 BASS Tournament Championships and 9 BASS Angler of the Year awards. Bass Pro Shops presents Fishing with Roland Martin. Brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest. Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, designed by fishermen for fishermen. Timbuktu, Fisher's Choice, real bait ready when you are. And by Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Closed caption provided by Spro Lures. This segment of Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Diamond Fishing Products. Our reputation is on the line.
You know, Doug, there's supposed to be, what, 13 or 14 of these big lakes here in Callaway?
Beautiful.
Wow. Full of bass and panfish and everything.
Trap in the winter.
Folks, here we are at Callaway Gardens, Georgia, and I'm with my good friend Doug Hill. Doug is with the Fisher's Choice, the prepared baits. In fact, we were here a year and a half ago. We were catching all sorts of bluegill on your, what did we use, crickets?
We used waxworms and crickets last time.
Okay, we're back again. We've talked to Rusty Fraser with the Kingfisher Outfitters, and he says, hey, springtime, full moon of April right now.
This is the time to do it.
Supposed to even better fishing. So let's go talk to Rusty. Hey, there's Rusty now. Cool.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you again.
Hey, Rusty.
How you doing?
Rusty Fraser of the Kingfisher Outfitters, and you might remember Rusty a year and a half ago. We were here, caught some beautiful bluegill.
Back in the fall.
Well, Rusty, how are we going to catch the fish?
Well, we're going to catch them in about 3 or 4 feet of water underneath a bobber on these Fisher's Choice super worms and mealworms that you guys have provided us with, and we may throw a few flies at them as well.
Well, hey, let's go. Callaway Gardens is the place to fish. Let's go show everybody how good it is. Oh, hold on, wait. Oh, we gotta get some bait. We gotta get some bait. Oh, yeah, we got them. What do you think this is? Ooh, son.
That's a good.
I tell you, it's a big one. I love it. Get the size.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
These are big ones. Big old bluegill. Big old bluegill.
That's might be a red breast.
Huh?
I think that one's a red breast.
That's a red breast?
Yep. Well, typically in a lake, their colors are not as vibrant as they are in a creek or in a river. In a creek or a river, their breast is going to be a lot brighter red. But even in a lake, you can see the tips of their dorsal fin and their tail fin are translucent reddish orange color.
Okay.
That's how you can tell.
His mouth is a little bit bigger than a regular bluegill. If you notice that, Rusty?
Yep.
Look how big that mouth is.
Yeah, he's got a good sized mouth. And,
Yeah.
You know, and when they get big like that too, their mouth gets bigger.
That's a red breast. Okay. And the long operculum covers, that's what they call them, operculum
Right, you get
covers.
that longer ear.
Being that they're longer, that's what indicates it's a red breast. Okay. And a longer and a bigger mouth. Ooh, boy. Okay. Cool. Let's see what we had here, Doug.
Superworm.
We hit a superworm. Isn't that like your most popular one?
That's one of the most popular, especially for shell cracker.
Okay.
You know what we've really noticed this year is a building customer base where we've got people using the product over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, really makes you feel good about a product when people use it and they're so happy they come back.
Oh, I got one. Uh-oh, there we go. Yeah, he came up. In the clear water, it was really neat. You could see him come right up to it. That was really slick. Now, that's another fish.
Shell cracker.
That's a shell cracker. So on one cast we caught a red breast, and on this cast we caught a shell cracker. Oh, shell cracker. Oh, come on, shell cracker. You know, some people say the shell crackers are the best eating. I don't know, we're not eating any today, but they say the shell crackers are absolutely delicious. Okay. That was so cool. I threw in there, Doug, and I could see them come up to the bait. The water's so clear, I could just see them coming up and just looking right at it, and then it finally just slowly went down.
Yeah, there's 8 or 10 beds spread out right in that area and all past that dost.
Boy, this is a big one. Woo, think they're red breast?
I think so. Well, you never know, you may have hooked a bass or who knows what,
Really?
but those beds are red breast beds.
There are a bunch of beds here, you can see them good, but they're all over the place. Boy, that thing's really pulling. 1, 2, 3, you got one?
I just had a hit.
About 6 or 7 beds right here. Okay, let's see what this is.
That's a red breast.
Now, again, that's the red breast because you have the orange ends on the
Got him.
fin. You got one?
Yeah.
Hey, way to go, Doug. Big one?
Feels like it.
Boy, this is the red breast, and because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not in a river, the red breasts aren't really red.
He's not as big.
Not as big. Oh.
Red breast too.
Is that a red breast? That's also a red breast. Okay. Okay. Boy, they're biting that super worm pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I'm just really just putting it on there and just lightly hooking it like that.
Rusty's got one.
See what he
Biting
is.
pretty good. So you don't know what it's going to be. It could be a.
Oh, that's a good one.
Could be, this looks like a bluegill.
What weight rod, fly rod is that?
This is a 4 weight,
4 weight?
8-foot 4 weight.
Oh wow. Well, it's a nice fat one.
He's a good fish. Bluegill.
Doug, the last time we fished together, we were catching big old tarpon, weren't we?
Yeah.
100-pound tarpon. And now, look what I'm catching. I got a bass.
Oh, you got another bass.
I'm on the bass. The bass, they're biting pretty good on these little, oh, he got off. He hit that super worm. Yeah, the last time we fished, well, you caught a tarpon well over 100 pounds.
Yeah, and the sun.
Yeah, we caught a bunch of nice ones. You know, what's a trophy for us is a big tarpon, but you know, my little grandkids, I got a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old. These bluegills and small bass we're catching today, hey, they're just as much as a trophy to them as a tarpon is to us.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I tell you, panfish, you can't beat it for these kids.
No.
It's the best thing. You know the #1 question I get about the Timbuktu products?
What?
Where do you get them? That's what I hear. Where can you get them? And I tell them Bass Pro Shop. That's one, you know, they carry, I guess, all of them.
They carry all of them. They carry both sizes, the large and the small can. They carry the crickets, the super worms, and the wax worms. And we should be coming out with our shrimp soon. We're doing a small river shrimp in a can. Had tons of requests from people fishing for catfish. And so we've been testing the river shrimp, and they work fantastic. They work for brim too, but really well for the catfish.
This segment of Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Timbuktu, Fisher's Choice. Real bait ready when you are. Nitro Boats presents this segment of Fishing with Roland Martin.
And I got him. Think it's a bass? Can you see him good? Oh, look at the size of another big bluegill. Oh, son. That's a big old bluegill there. You got one? Oh. That's a big one. A lot of wind. We're still catching them.
Yeah.
The wind is
it's supposed to
terrible.
be 15, 20 mile an hour winds today. Feels like every bit of it so far.
Woo! Son.
That's a good one right there.
That's a good bluegill. That's a good bluegill. Okay.
I still think you're cheating.
I'm telling you. There's a bunch of them here. Kind of towards that pine tree, there's a bunch of, that oak tree to the left.
one.
There's a bunch of beds out from it.
Yeah, that's really a nice one.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
How big is it? Ooh,
Oh, that's
son.
a big one.
That's a big one. Oh, yeah.
It's a good looking bluegill.
That's a big one. Look at that guy. Oh, that's a pound. That's a big old pound bluegill. Look at that thing. That thing is really nice. Woo! Fat.
That's a really nice one.
Big old bluegill. Now we're talking.
Just get
That's
big.
A big bluegill, close to a
Wow.
pound. Look at the size of him, folks.
This is a warmouth. It's a species of brim that looks
Oh,
almost
yeah,
like a
really
crappie
big.
or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, that's just a bluegill. A bluegilla. Really
That's
good.
nice.
Yeah. That's a big one. Well, that's a big shell cracker there, boys. They say this shell cracker is the finest eating of all. I got a bass. Oh, son. He hit the little worm. A little bass. How often do you catch bass on something like this?
We have a lot of people that fish for bass with them.
Really?
They'll catch bass while they're fishing for other things, but they've, we've got a lot of people reporting they're catching them, especially with the super worms.
Look at that, that super worm. He ate that super worm. He isn't a very big bass, but he ate the thing. That's so cool. Little bitty waxworm. He's just a little one, but hey, when you're pan fishing, that's a decent little fish.
Tell if it's big, small. Not really pulling yet, it's coming to the boat. Oh, look
Bass,
at that.
look at it.
Bass.
He got a big bass.
Got one chasing him. Yeah, I
Hey,
got a
let me just-
bigger one chasing him. Rusty's got one.
Yeah,
Bass.
Rusty's got one. What do you have, Rusty?
I've got a little bass on the
Do you
fly rod
really?
here.
Look at that. Well, we've caught 4 species of fish so far. We've caught some bass, we've caught shell crackers, bluegill, we've caught a little bit of everything. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
He drilled.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the other bass was like a keeper bass.
Oh, yeah, the other one was
That was way
a
big.
bit bigger.
Yeah, way bigger. Now, Doug, you were talking about some new and improved versions of the Fisher's Choice products. You know, the crickets, the super worms, and all that you have. What do you mean new and improved?
Well, we're constantly looking at different baits, different insects. We're looking at improvements in shelf life. We've got them now so they have a 5-year shelf life instead of 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
So in the store or in the truck or in the boat, they're good for 5 years.
Well, now before it was 3 years, and then you could open the can. It was good for what, 2 weeks?
2
or
weeks.
something? Okay. Now
2
what about
weeks.
now? The same.
The same 2 weeks,
Okay.
3 weeks after you open it, as long as you refrigerate it when you get back from fishing.
Well, now if you refrigerate it, it's good for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also released a smaller can. We had a lot of fishermen pointing out that
I like that smaller can.
300 wax worms is a lot of wax worms,
Right.
and would take them quite a while to go through them. So we've done half-size cans that are a little more convenient for them.
Well, they're cheaper.
Yeah, half the price.
That's a big deal. I noticed the Bass Pro Shop, the people that were buying them were, for the most part, were buying the smaller cans.
Yeah, we probably sell 2 to 1 on the small cans. You know, a great thing though is we're having repeat business. The people that are buying them are coming back and buying them again. That's showing that they're having success with them. So the baits are working. We've improved the scents, we've enhanced the scents, and we're constantly working to add new insects and new baits to the line. We'll have shrimp coming out hopefully within the next
Oh, I've tried
4
that
to 6
shrimp.
months.
That's a neat deal. Well, the shrimp is cool.
Yeah, they're working real well. We're happy with the blend. We've got the different baits we have right now.
Oh, it floats down. Uh-oh, it floats down. Oh, look what I got. I got a bass. Holy moly. Nice bass. I'll be daggone. You took it down there. I tell you, when you're using 4-pound line,
Yeah.
in a 1.5-pound bass can be pretty big deal, you know.